Nutrition in plants and animals. Learning objectives. Nutrition. Types of nutrition. Nutrients replenished in the soil. Cells. Nutrition in animals. Ingestion of food. Human digestive system. Diarrhea. Ruminants. All living beings need energy to support their life. Food provides energy and helps them to grow. Food helps living beings to work properly. A balanced diet provides all the energy and nutrients that one needs to stay healthy. In this chapter, we will study about nutrition in plants and animals. Nutrition. All living organisms need energy to perform various life processes. This energy is produced from the food they eat. Food is the fuel for the cell which produces energy burning within a cell. The mode of nutrition in plants is known as holophytic type of nutrition. Plants prepare all components of their food from inorganic substances within their bodies. In case of most animals and human beings, the mode of nutrition is of holozoic type. The holozoic nutrition involves ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and digestion. Holozoic animals have a fully developed alimentary canal which performs the above stated functions. All the processes through which food is obtained and used are collectively termed as nutrition. Green plants can produce their food themselves, whereas animals depend upon plants and other animals for their food. There are two types of nutrition, viz., autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. A summary of nutrition in green plants. Types of nutrition. The living organisms are divided into two categories. Ones who make their own food, like plants, are called autotrophic. The others who depend directly or indirectly on green plants for their nutrition are called heterotrophic. Autotrophic nutrition. The term autotroph is derived from two Greek words, autos, self, and trophy, nutrition. In autotrophic nutrition, an organism makes its own food from simple raw materials. Photosynthesis. Green plants, which are autotrophic, synthesize food through the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process by which green plants, having chlorophyll, synthesize the simple sugar, glucose, from the simple raw materials, i.e. water and carbon dioxide, using the energy of sunlight. Oxygen is released in this process. The complete equation of photosynthesis is carbon dioxide plus water, sunlight into add chlorophyll, glucose plus oxygen, 6Co into 2 plus 6H into O, sunlight, add chlorophyll, C into 6 hours into 12O into 6 plus 6O into 2. The sugar produced is stored in the form of starch in plants. In animals, food is stored in the form of glycogen. These food reserves provide energy as and when required by the organism. Since autotrophic plants are able to produce food, they are also known as producers. The food which is prepared by photosynthesis is transported to all parts of plant. It is stored in form of starch in leaf, stem and roots, etc. Significance of photosynthesis. 1. It makes food for plants as well as for all living organisms. 2. By the process of photosynthesis, carbon dioxide and oxygen gases maintain their percentage in the atmosphere. There are some conditions necessary for photosynthesis. 1. Chlorophyll. Chlorophylls are green pigments found in all photosynthetic organisms and are responsible for their green color. In plants, chlorophyll is mainly found in the leaves. 2. Sunlight. Plants absorb water from the soil through their root hairs. The water is then transported up to the leaves through the stem in sunlight. 3. Carbon dioxide. Plants obtain carbon dioxide through pores called stomata present on the surfaces of leaves. The opening and closing of these pores are regulated by guard cells, which surround them. Stomata. 4. Water. Plants absorb water from the soil through their root hairs. The water is then transported up to the leaves through the stem. We can prove by an experiment that above conditions are necessary for photosynthesis. Activity 1.2. Experiment to demonstrate that starch is formed during photosynthesis. Pluck a healthy green leaf of a plant which was grown in the sunlight. Place it in a beaker containing boiling water for about 2 minutes. Now transfer the leaf to a beaker containing alcohol. You will observe that the leaf turns white, indicating that the chlorophyll has been removed. Now wash the leaf carefully in water without damaging it. Place the leaf in a dilute solution of iodine. This will turn the leaf bluish-black. The changing of the leaf's color to bluish-black after it has been treated with iodine solution shows that the leaf contains starch. Activity 1.3. Experiment to show that CO2 is essential for photosynthesis. Get 2 healthy potted plants of almost the same size and place them in the dark for 24 hours to destarch the leaves. Now place them on glass plates. Cover the plants with separate bell jars. Keep some crystals of potassium hydroxide, KOH, in a petri dish and place it under one of the jars. Make the setup airtight by applying Vaseline at the bottom of the bell jars. Keep the plants in sunlight for photosynthesis to take place. After 3 to 4 hours, pluck a leaf from each plant. Boil the leaves in water and subsequently in alcohol, using a water bath, to remove chlorophyll. Now use a few drops of iodine to test for starch in each leaf. Only one leaf turns blue-black, showing the presence of starch. THs happens because co-absorbs the CO2 present inside one bell jar. As a result, the leaves do not get CO2 for photosynthesis. Thus the process of photosynthesis is inhibited and starch is not synthesized. Activity 1.4. Experiment to show that sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. Keep a potted plant in the dark for 24 hours. On one of the leaves, stick black paper strips with the help of sellotape. Now, place this plant in sunlight for a few hours. Pluck the leaf and remove the black strips. Boil this leaf, first in water and then in alcohol, to remove chlorophyll. After washing the leaf with water, keep it in a petri dish. Add a few drops of iodine solution. The leaf turns blue-black except in the region that had been covered. This region did not receive light and hence no starch was formed. The uncovered region received light and starch was formed due to photosynthesis. Plants take up different nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, iron, magnesium, etc., along with water through the root. These nutrients contribute not only to the process of photosynthesis but also to the general development of the plants. For example, nitrogen is used in the synthesis of proteins and other compounds. Experiment to show that sunlight is essential for photosynthesis. Heterotrophic nutrition. Animals and non-green plants, like fungi and bacteria, cannot prepare their own food. They depend upon plants directly or indirectly. Those organisms which are not able to make their own food but depend upon other sources are called heterotrophic, and the process of nutrition is called heterotrophic nutrition. Fungi. All the heterotrophic organisms are divided into 3 categories on the basis of their eating habits. I. Herbivorous animals. Those animals which depend upon plants for their nutrition is called herbivorous. Examples: cow, horse, goat, elephant, etc. 2. Carnivorous animals. Those animals which eat the flesh of other animals are called carnivorous. Examples: lion, tiger. 3. Omnivorous animals. Animals which eat both plants and flesh of other animals are called omnivorous. Examples: man, dog, crow. Herbivorous, carnivorous, omnivorous. Types of heterotrophic nutrition. On the basis of mode of nutrition, heterotrophic organisms can be divided into the following categories. I. Parasitic nutrition. 2. Saprophytic nutrition. 3. Holozoic nutrition. 4. Insectivorous plants. I. Parasitic nutrition. In this type of nutrition, organisms derive their food from the other organisms. The living organism from which a parasite derives food is called the host. A parasite may be plant parasite or may be an animal parasite. Dodder, umberbell, is a plant parasite. It seeks food from another plant using root-like structure. Roundworm is an animal parasite which is found in human intestine. It eats digested food and harms the host. Dodder. There are different types of parasites. Some parasites which provide the benefits to the host are called symbiont. For examples, in lichen, alga, autotroph, and fungus live together. Alga supplies food to fungus and fungus supplies water and minerals to alga. Lichen. Another parasitic plants like mistletoe and dodder grow on trees of mango. These parasites have green leaves and can synthesize their food, but they take water and minerals from the host plant. These type of parasite are called partial parasites. 2. Saprophytic nutrition. An organism which depends upon dead or decaying organic matter is called saprophyte. Sapro means rotten, so the saprophytes derive their food from rotten leaves, dead animals and household waste like rotten bread. For example, fungi like mold, mushrooms, yeast and many bacteria are saprophytes. Mushrooms. Fungus slice bread. 3. Holozoic nutrition. In Holozoic nutrition, complex organic substances are ingested, taken in, without being degraded or decomposed. After intake, such food is digested by enzymes produced within the organism. Digested food is absorbed into the body and the undigested product is egested, expelled, from the body. This kind of nutrition is found mainly in non-parasitic animals, simple ones like amoeba and complex ones like human beings. Venus flytrap. 4. Insectivorous plants. Some plants consume insects. The plant which eats insect is called insectivorous plant. Venus flytrap and pitcher plant's leaves are modified in the shape of a pitcher. When any insect sits on it, the lid is closed and the insect is trapped in the plant. It is digested by the enzyme secreted by the cell of plant. Pitcher plant. Nutrients replenished in the soil. The main nutrients required by the plants are nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. These are called mineral nutrients or just minerals. The plant nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium are present in the soil naturally. When the plants are grown, they absorb the nutrients from the soil, due to which the amount of plant nutrients in the soil goes on decreasing. And when the crop plants are grown in the same fields again and again, then the soil becomes deficient in plant nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Due to this, the plant nutrients, or minerals, need to be added from time to time to enrich the soil and restore its fertility. The plant nutrients, or minerals, are replenished, or put back, in the soil in the following two ways. 1. By adding fertilizers and manures. Fertilizers and manures contain plant nutrients, or minerals, such as nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, etc. So, when fertilizers and manures are added to the soil in the fields, then the soil gets enriched with nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, etc. The crop plants can then grow well in this soil. Thus, plant nutrients are added in the cultivated fields in the form of fertilizers and manures so as to get good crops. In fact, many times we see the farmers spreading fertilizers and manures in the fields. The gardeners also put fertilizer and manure in the lawns and potted plants. This is done to provide essential nutrients for the growth of plants so that we get healthy plants. The two most common fertilizers which are used to provide plant nutrients, or minerals, in the fields are NPK and urea. NPK fertilizer provides nitrogen, N, phosphorus, P, and potassium, K, to the soil in the fields, whereas urea provides only nitrogen. Out of all the plant nutrients, or minerals, the crop plants grown in the fields require nitrogen in maximum amount to make the proteins. The crop plants take this nitrogen from the soil in the fields. So, after the harvest, the soil in the fields becomes deficient in nitrogen. This nitrogen-deficient soil is incapable of growing another good crop. Now, one way to make this soil fertile again is to add nitrogen-containing fertilizers. Another way is to grow leguminous crops in this soil. How the growing of leguminous crops enriches the soil with nitrogen will become clear from the following discussion. Fertilizer being spread in the fields to replenish the plant nutrients in the soil. 2. By growing leguminous crops. Though a big amount of nitrogen gas is present in the air, but the plants cannot use nitrogen in gaseous form. The plants need nitrogen in the form of water-soluble compounds, such as nitrates. The plants such as gram, chana, peas, pulses, moong, etc., and beans are called leguminous plants, or legumes. The leguminous plants have root nodules in them which contain rhizobium bacteria. Rhizobium bacteria can convert nitrogen gas of air into nitrogen compounds, like nitrates. So, when a leguminous crop is grown in a field, the rhizobium bacteria present in the root nodules of leguminous plants convert nitrogen gas of air into nitrogen compounds, like nitrates. Some of these nitrogen compounds are used by the leguminous plants for their own growth. The remaining nitrogen compounds made by rhizobium bacteria mix with the soil in the field and enrich it. Thus, the soil in the fields gets enriched with nitrogen compounds in the natural way. The growing of leguminous crops in the fields is of great importance to the farmers. This is because the farmers do not need to put nitrogen fertilizer in the fields in which leguminous crops have been grown earlier. The nodules on the roots of this pea plant, which is a leguminous plant, contain rhizobium bacteria which convert nitrogen gas of air into nitrogen compounds, such as nitrates. Cells. All the living things, plants and animals, are made from cells. In biology, a cell is the smallest unit of life. Just as a house is made of small units called bricks, in the same way, the bodies of living organisms are made of tiny units called cells. Thus, cells are the building blocks of plants and animals. Cells are very, very small in size which cannot be seen with naked eyes. Cells can be seen only under a microscope. We can, however, see the plants and animals around us because they are made up of millions and millions of tiny cells joined together. Some organisms are made of only one cell, but others are made of many cells joined together. For example, the simplest animal called amoeba is made up of only one cell, but a complex organism like a rose plant or a man is made up of millions of cells. All living cells come only from other living cells. The cells are mainly of two types, animal cells and plant cells. Though many things are common between animal cells and plant cells, but they differ in some ways. A cell consists of a jelly-like material enclosed in a thin membrane. The jelly-like material which fills the cell is called cytoplasm. The thin outer covering of the cell is called cell membrane. There is a large spherical structure floating in the center of a cell which is called the nucleus. The nucleus is surrounded by a jelly-like material called cytoplasm. A number of small bodies called mitochondria are also present in the cell. There are tiny air spaces in the cytoplasm of an animal cell which are called vacuoles. The general diagram of an animal cell is shown in figure below. An animal cell. A plant cell. We will now give the functions of all the parts of a cell. The cell membrane protects the cell and also controls the passage of materials which go into the cell or go out from the cell. The function of nucleus is to control all the activities of the cell, like cell growth, etc. The function of mitochondria is to carry out respiration for releasing energy from food. The function of small vacuoles is to hold air, water or particles of food, and the function of cytoplasm is to carry out all the activities of life processes, or metabolism. All the parts of animal cells such as cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus and mitochondria are also present in plant cells. In addition to these, the plant cells have three more parts in them. These are cell wall, chloroplasts and large vacuoles. These parts make the plant cells different from animal cells. The general diagram of a plant cell is given in figure above. All the plant cells have a thick cell wall around the cell membrane. The cell wall protects the cell, gives it a fixed shape and makes it rigid or strong. The chloroplasts contain chlorophyll and make food in green plants by the process of photosynthesis. The large vacuoles in plant cells are filled with cell sap, which is a solution of sugars and other substances. The animals are made up of animal cells joined together, whereas plants are made up of plant cells combined together. Since the animals and plants are made up of different types of cells, therefore, animals and plants look different and behave in different ways. Nutrition in animals. All animals obtain their food from the nature. They take complex food in form of starch, protein and fats etc. and convert it into glucose, amino acid and fatty acid or glycerol by their digestive system. This method of nutrition or holozoic nutrition is divided into 5 steps. These are ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and digestion. All these steps are discussed below. Ingestion. Taking of food into the body is called ingestion. Different animals have different ways to ingest food. They have some special organs for this purpose. 2. Digestion. Food taken in by the animals is insoluble, made of many complex molecules. It must be broken down into smaller and water-soluble molecules before being utilized by the cell. Digestion makes the food soluble so that it can be utilized by the animal body. 3. Absorption. The process of absorption of digested food into the blood or fluid is called absorption. 4. Assimilation. In this process of nutrition, absorbed food is oxidized and synthesized by the cell for producing energy and growth. Digestion. The whole food which we eat is not digested by our body. Undigested part of food is removed from the body. The removing of waste food from our body is called digestion. Nutrition in amoeba, hydra and frog. There are different types of animals found in nature. Some are unicellular like amoeba, some are multicellular like hydra, some organisms have tissue system like flatworm and some have organ systems like cow, horse, human. Here we will discuss about nutrition in amoeba, unicellular organism, hydra, multicellular organism, frog, organ system, and human, advanced organ system. Unicellular amoeba eats tiny particles of food with the help of a structure called pseudopodia, pseudofalls, podiophaingia. Amoeba is the simplest organism. It does not have any mouth. When food comes near amoeba, it ingests food particles by forming pseudopodia, seen figure above. The food particles and a little amount of water form a food vacuole inside amoeba. The food is digested in the food vacuole by the digestive enzymes. The digested food present in the food vacuole is absorbed into the cytoplasm. The digested food absorbed in the cytoplasm is used to obtain energy for maintaining life process. When sufficient amount of waste food is deposited inside amoeba, its cell membrane suddenly ruptures at any place and the undigested food is thrown out from the body. Nutrition in amoeba. This entire process can be divided into the following stages: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and digestion as discussed above. Hydra is a simple multicellular animal. It has a number of tentacles around its mouth. These tentacles are used for ingestion of food. The food particles are digested with the help of enzymes secreted by the surrounding cells of body cavity. Digested food is absorbed through cavity wall and assimilated by all the cells. Nutrition in Hydra. Amphibian animal frog is a very common animal found around us. It uses its long sticky tongue to catch the insect. Frogs have a well-developed digestive system in which food is digested with the help of digestive juices. Frog catching prey. Ingestion of food. Here, we will discuss indigestion of food in some animals like paramecium, butterfly, spiders, housefly, etc. Paramecium is a unicellular organism. Its outer body is covered by stiff hair called cilia. Cilia help in ingestion of food particles into its mouth-like structure. Rest four processes: digestion, absorption, assimilation and digestion are similar to amoeba. A butterfly has a long feeding tube. It helps to suck nectar from the flowers. Mouth parts of a butterfly. Spider catching prey. Housefly dissolving food. Ingestion in paramecium. Spiders catch their prey from a sticky web made by themselves. It injects digestive juices into the body of the prey. The food digested outside the body is sucked up by the spider. The housefly uses its own saliva to dissolve the food and form a solution. It sucks up the solution with the help of the feeding tube. Human digestive system. The digestive system of human beings consists of the following organs: mouth, tongue, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, anus. Digestive system in human body. Mouth. The mouth consists of tongue, jaws, teeth and salivary glands. The tongue, jaws and teeth together help in crushing and grinding of food. While chewing, a watery liquid is secreted by salivary gland. It is called salivary juice. It helps in digestion of food. Salivary juices are secreted by 3 pairs of salivary glands. Hence the digestion begins in mouth. The cutting, tearing, crushing and mixing with saliva is called mastication or chewing. Saliva imbricates the food and makes it easier to swallow. Mouth. Our teeth help in cutting, tearing and grinding food before we swallow. Our teeth have special shape to do this work. The front teeth are known as incisors. They helps in cutting. They are found in 1 pair. Next to incisors are canines, which are pointed in shape. They help in tearing of food. They are also found in 1 pair. Next to canines, there are 2 pairs of premolars found. These teeth have flat surfaces, bearing small grooves and ridges. These help in crushing and grinding the foods on each side. The last 3 on both sides have flat surface with small pointed tips for effective grinding of the food. They are called molars. Teeth. So, the adult has 32 number of teeth, 16 in each jaw. However, children have only 20 teeth, 10 in each jaw. These are known as milk teeth or temporary teeth. After the age of 10, these are replaced by 16 permanent teeth in each jaw. Tongue. Tongue is a muscular organ. It helps in rolling and pushing the food into the food pipe or esophagus. It also has small taste buds on its surface. These buds help in detecting different kinds of taste like sweet, sour, bitter and hot. It also helps in speaking. Taste buds on tongue. Esophagus. Esophagus is a tubical structure which connects mouth and stomach. It is about 30 to 40 centimeters in length. It is made up of muscular tissues. It helps in pushing down the food into the stomach. Stomach. Stomach is a T-shaped bag-like structure. The inner wall of stomach secretes gastric juices which help in digestion of food. Food stays in the stomach for a few minutes to hours depending upon the nature of food. The food gets partly digested in the stomach. Stomach churns the food to mix digestive juices. The food in the stomach is churned into semi-solid. The churned semi-solid food is called chyme. Gastric juice is secreted from the wall of stomach and mixed to the food. The enzymes and hydrochloric acid present in the gastric juices again break down this food into protein and kill the harmful bacteria. Then it goes into small intestine. Small intestine. Small intestine is the largest part of the digestive system. It is approximately 7 meters in length. It is divided into 3 regions, namely duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Some juices are secreted by the inner wall of small intestine itself. Others are provided by its supportive organs such as liver and pancreas. The juices secreted by liver and pancreas are stored in a bladder. All the juices help in digestion of food. After the completion of digestion process, ileum helps in absorption of food by the blood. Large intestine. Our alimentary canal cannot digest and absorb all the food. The undigested food which cannot be absorbed into the blood changes into waste. It moves from ileum to a wide diameter tube called large intestine. Here most of the water which helps in absorption of digested food is reabsorbed into the blood. Almost all solid waste of food is stored in the last part of our alimentary canal called rectum. Finally, waste comes out from our body through an opening called anus. Digestion, transportation, respiration, nutrition and excretion. I. Digestion. Breaking of complex food compound in simpler compound with the help of enzymes secreted at different part of alimentary canal is called digestion. 2. Transportation. The simple digested compound absorbed into our blood at ileum is called absorption. It is transported to all our cells by blood. The digested food carried by blood to all parts of body is called transportation. Respiration. The oxygen we take in by breathing process is used to break down digested food at cells and liberate energy. This process is called respiration. 4. Nutrition. Intake of food and utilize it for growth, repairing and physical activity of an organism is called nutrition. Whatever we eat, it is first digested in our alimentary canal. Digested food is transported by blood to all parts of the body or cells. Cells synthesize this food at their respective organs. After synthesis, energy liberates and damaged cells are repaired or new cells are formed by the protein synthesis. Thus, nutrition and respiration together help in liberation of energy to stay alive. V. Excretion. The waste material produced during respiration is transported by blood to kidneys. The kidneys help to remove this waste in form of urine from our body. The lungs remove carbon dioxide in gaseous state from our body. So, the moving of wastes from our body is called excretion. Diarrhea. The condition in which a person passes out watery stools frequently is called diarrhea. Diarrhea is called dust in Hindi. Diarrhea may be caused by an infection, due to disease-causing microorganisms, food poisoning or indigestion. Diarrhea is a kind of disease. Diarrhea is very common in India particularly among children. In fact, diarrhea is one of the major causes of death of small children in our country. Diarrhea leads to the loss of water and salts from the body of a person, through frequent watery stools. The loss of water from the body of a person through watery stools is called dehydration. The sudden loss of too much water, or dehydration, makes a person dangerously ill in a very short time. Excessive dehydration of body caused by diarrhea can even lead to death. So, diarrhea should never be neglected. In order to prevent dehydration, the person suffering from diarrhea should be given a solution of sugar and salt in clean water, many times a day. The solution of sugar and salt in water is called oral rehydration solution, ORS, because it is given to the person orally, through mouth. We can make an oral rehydration solution ourselves by dissolving a teaspoonful of sugar and a pinch of salt in a glass of clean water. The water used for this purpose should be first boiled and then cooled, so as to make it germ-free. Oral rehydration solution makes up the loss of water and salt in the body. The sugar gives energy which helps in speedy recovery. Thus, the dehydration of body can be prevented during diarrhea by giving oral rehydration solution regularly to the patient. Meanwhile, a doctor should be called in for giving medicines to cure the cause of diarrhea. Ruminants. Ruminants are generally herbivorous animals. Examples are cows, buffaloes, goats, sheep, bison, etc. In these animals, digestion happens in 2 steps. They normally eat grass which contains cellulose. Ruminant's stomach is very complicated. It is divided into 4 chambers: rumen, reticulum, omasum, and abomasum. The swallowed food first reaches into the rumen, here half chewed. Food is partially digested. Then it goes to the reticulum, from where it is returned to the mouth for chewing. The chewing of half-digested food is called rumination and the animal is called ruminant. After chewing, it is swallowed for second time. This time, it bypasses the first 2 chambers and enters the 3rd chamber omasum and then moves to the 4th chamber abomasum. In the abomasum, the food is digested just like in human stomach. It is finally sent to the small intestine for absorption. Digestive system of a ruminant. Summary. All living organisms require food for cellular activities like growth, development and physical activity. Organisms which make their own food are called autotrophs, like plants. Photosynthesis is the process by which plants make their own food. Green plants use water, carbon dioxide and sunlight to prepare their food during photosynthesis. All animals and non-green plants are heterotrophs. Non-green plants may be saprophytes or parasites. There are 5 stages of animal nutrition. These are ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and digestion. The human digestive system consists of mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. Human digestive system is also associated with some digestive glands like salivary glands, liver and pancreas. There are 4 types of teeth found in human being. These are incisors, canines, premolars and molars. The digested food is absorbed at ileum of small intestine by finger-like structures called villi. Undigested semi-solid waste is egested through anus. At large intestine, most of the water is reabsorbed. Blood helps in transportation of digested food and their waste to their specific place. Ruminants have 4 chambers of stomach: rumen, reticulum, omasum, and abomasum. Ruminants digest their food in 2 steps. Keywords. Nutrition, the process of obtaining and utilizing foods. Autotrophic, those organisms who makes their own food like plants. Heterotrophic, those organisms who depend for food upon natural sources like animals. Digestion, breaking of complex food into simple form. Assimilation, utilizing of digested food for energy and growth. Saprophytes, organisms depending upon dead and decaying plants and animals. Parasites, organisms which derive their food from other organisms. Pseudopodia, false feet of amoeba. Symbiosis, association of 2 organisms for their mutual benefit. Ruminants, cud-chewing animals such as a cow,